Yo, I'm Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on this Parkside Hedge trimmer. It is a SK1 E34F-LD, I think that's the number on it. You get these from either Lidl or Aldi. I think they're an Aldi brand. Home user grade bit of kit, definitely not professional. Quite heavy for what it is. It's not overly heavy, but it is. You know you've got hold of it, and I think if you use that all day long, you'd know about it. But for a home user grade bit of kit, for cutting your own hedge in your garden or what have you, it should do a job, no problem at all. But this machine is playing up. It's bogging down and cutting out. So we need to look at that. It's got on-off switch, all that sort of good stuff. It's also got the twist handle grip as well, so you can turn the handle on its side. Big fuel tank, massive fuel tank. Must be about 25-litre fuel tank. That's huge. Compared to some of the other brands that you get, they get a really small tank. This has got a massive tank on it. So we'll take it outside and we'll see what we can't do, just to try and show you guys and girls what it is actually doing. I mean, if your hedge trimmer is doing the same thing, I might have a fix for you. So keep watching. If this is your first time in watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications for all, that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's diagnose this and try and get it fixed. Hi Pip, get your ball in. Fetch your ball, where's your ball? Fetch it. Fetch it here. Fetch it here, good girl. Sit, good girl. Fetch it here. Away she goes. Right then, so Parkside Hedge trimmer. Let's see what it is doing. It's got a purge bowl on the back. That one about 15 pumps, I dare say, get some fuel through. Don't actually know if that's priming, to be fair. It is. We should see. Right, choke it, twist it to choke it. Turn it on. So that's what it's doing. Got a bit of a bog to it. Now we could maybe try and get away with that just by tuning it. But I don't like to just tune and go. Because generally, if it's got a fuel issue, then it's generally something else. But tuning and going is just a good temporary fix, especially if you're out in the field. Let's put it up on the bench and have a quick little look. Okay, so we've got the Parkside up on the old bench. Let's have a quick little look at it then. So it seems to be a fuel starvation issue where the carburetor, I'm assuming, is not delivering the fuel adequately. Now you could just get away with just trying to tune that, maybe. There's some tuners on the top here to make it run right. But generally, if it's just not running right, then generally there's an issue with a diaphragm. That's one of the main reasons, I dare say. What do we want in there? Little tiny Allen key in there. That gonna be the right one? No, of course it's not the right one. It's the one I had out yesterday. What makes you think that's gonna be the right one for today, Mick? Let's put that back. Let's try you. You look a little bit more substantial. Yes. Cool. And Nora. They're on there. So you've got two bolts to remove. It's gonna be really well threaded in there and all. Now I've never worked on one of these before. Parkside don't seem to see a lot of them come in. Is that because they don't sell a lot? Because I guess they do. Or is this just a throwaway commodity? People have it for a year, do what they want to do, put it in the thing. Are they that cheap? How much are these? I've got no idea. Have a look, guys. Let me know in the comment section how cheap these are. I reckon they're about 90 quid. That's what I reckon. Right. Now before I take all this apart, I'm just going to be very careful because I don't want to be just pulling it apart. Not worked on before, so it might be a bit different to something else I worked on. So we've got a gasket there, no gasket there. Oh Lord. Okay. So you've got a gasket on the back there, which has got an impulse hole on the back of it. Is that going to come off, or is that just going to ruin my day if I try and remove that? I'm going to leave that be. I'm not touching it. But I've got 2 fuel lines here, because we've got a purge bowl on here. So you get this right. So this one here, just take, if you're not sure, take a photograph now, right? So looks like the return goes into the primer bulb, and the feed in comes out of the tank. That's easy enough for me to remember. A pair of long nose grips. I'm just going to try and loosen these off. Now there's plenty of slack in the pipe there if they don't slacken off. There's plenty of slack there for me to take the pressure out of that tank first. There's plenty of slack in these pipes for me just to cut these pipes and just go new again. So that's no problem. That's one off. That's the return, because a purge. And this would be your feed in. Oh, sorry about knocking my camera. Right, let me just prime that bulb, because sometimes what happens is that people work on these machines prior and have a little bit of fiddling. But that's definitely feed coming out of there. That's good. Okay. So by pushing the purging bulb, it does show me that I'm dragging fuel through this one here, which goes through the carbon, back through the bulb, and back into a tank. That's fine. Right. Let's get that out of the way. We don't need that for a minute. Let's get a cloth on the old bench. I'm going to have a little dissect on this carburetor to see what's going on with this little carby. So I'm guessing it's going to be diaphragm. Right, carby up on the bench. Bit of rust in there, which is a bit of a warning. I'll try and remove this gasket if I can, but I really, really don't want to upset it. No, leave it be. I don't have a spare for it, so I could just make one. It's no big issue, but just leave it be. So we're going to go inside here first. Here's the tuners. Low there, high there. The throttle cable just fell off, to be fair. You can disconnect that. The throttle cable just fell off. But let's see what we've got inside here. We've got 4 little tiny screws to remove, and this would be where your metering diaphragm is inside here. Now it could be that, whoever bought this bit of kit, they've had it a year or whatever it is, and then the diaphragm has changed, slightly stiffened up, and you could have just got away with just literally doing a tune. But that diaphragm is about as crispy as a crispy gets. That's proper crispy. Okay, and that's the issue. So can I remove the diaphragm? Yes, we can. It's just proper crisp. See, there's just no flex in that at all. No flex whatsoever. Proper crispy. So I need a diaphragm just like that. Has it got a nipple or no nipple? It's got a little nipple, a little tiny nipple, but I'll go for that as being a no nipple. Right, no nipple and 2 holes. No nipple, 2 holes. Let's have a look here. See what we've got in this bag. That's the right diaphragm, but that's got a nipple on it. That ain't no good. This one's nipples is far too big. So not that one. We've got any holes on there? Yeah, we've got 2 holes on there, haven't we? We've got on here. Well, that would do. But it's got no holes on there for guidance, but we could just punch some holes into there, so I could be happy with that. What else we got here? No, that's not one. I don't know. That's the original Zama. That one. Just looking through my collection of diaphragms to try and find one that's gonna fit. That would do. Again, no 2 holes on it, so that one might do it. These have all got raised nipples on, so have those. And what are these ones? Oh, this could be the kiddies. Let's look at these. Nah, that ain't going to do it neither. They're different. Okay, so the nearest ones we've got to this are, that's the original. It's got 2 holes. See the 2 holes? There and there. These ones would do it, but there's no holes there. And that one would do it because there's only 1 hole there, but it's in the wrong place. So I'm not going to go with that one. I'm going to go with this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my punching kit, my gasket punching kit. I'm going to lay it over the top, that way. These are both roughly the same. Yeah. I'm going to put that over top, and I'm going to punch 2 little tiny holes just in there, just like that. Let me get that done. I'm going to use a set of gasket punch tools, and just put 2 little tiny holes in there, and then that way that'll then sit over the 2 little tiny holes there, which is weird. Okay, look, this is weird. I don't need to do that at all, because the gasket on here doesn't have 2 little tiny holes to put it on, so I don't have to do it. So technically, the 2 holes on there are for nothing. That's cool. So that's just going to go on there, just like that, because there's no holes underneath there, nothing for metering, nothing. And there should be 2 studs there, but there's not. So that one is absolutely perfect for the job. So let's do that. Put that one out of the way, get rid of that, and that's the one we're going to use. So new diaphragm is going to go in. Do I dare have a little look inside this side here? Because if the diaphragm's crispy, then the chances are this side here, on the pump side, maybe just as bad. Let's have a little tiny nose in here. This would be where there's a screen inside here. And if the screen has got gunk in it, then that is also the reason why it's playing about. Now, lots of people just literally tune and go, which is great if you're out in the field, but it's not always the answer. And there's a little bit of sludge in there. Let me show you. I'm trying to get as close as I can. It just looks to be a little tiny bit of sludge. Now that may look clear to you guys, okay, but I can see in there with the naked eye, I can see that inside there's bits of sludge in there and bits of debris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this carby over, and I'm going to push down on this little tiny needle just here, okay? So push that down. I'll get my GT85 fluid. I'm going to spray just inside that hole there, just to wash all that stuff out. Now that still looks really, really dirty to me. Okay, so I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to grab a pick of some description. Let me find a pick without knocking that camera over. Mr. Pick, where are they? Oh, a dental pick would be nice, Mick. A dental pick would be nice, Mick. What have we got there? Nice straight pick, that'd be lovely. Right, so inside here, a little tiny metal galls inside here. Now I'm going to just try and pick that out. Here it comes. There it is. You've got to take that out. Now, if I can just put that on the top of my... This is quite small. If I can just now try and scratch the surface of that, you'll see what I meant by about gunk. Hang on, 2 seconds. Now that gunk's coming off onto my finger. There you go. Now that was what I was saying about this screen look dirty. Okay, so we can now clean that from the back side of it, and that is the main reason why this carby was actually playing up. Look, there was dirt there. See it? We'll clean that all off. Still a bit in there. That looks, it's like it's a glue. That's what it looks like. It's like it's a glue. It's not, it's ethanol, what it is. A bit more scraping. Just to loosen it all off. I don't want to damage this little tiny screen. Turn it over again. Oop, you lost it then. There's lots of bits of dirt coming off of here. Oh, that's better. Just going to reform this little tiny galls, so I don't want to break it. Oh, that's better. I'll put that on one side. Now I'm going to clean the carb. So I've got impulse hole there. Bit of dirt there's come out. And everywhere where there's a hole, we're going to spray fluid in. Oh, hello. If there's a hole, spray it. Some holes don't go anywhere, other holes do. A good general clean there. Nothing there to worry about. That's been shut off, that's good. Right, now we can now leave that closed as it is. Don't touch that. Fill that up with liquid. And then if you watch, if I now depress that needle underneath, that fluid there will disappear. There it goes. Disappearing, 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 gone. So we know that works, that's good. So what happens is when you put this screen back in, now if that was dirty, that whatever was on that screen would have been blocking the fuel trying to get through. I use a little tiny drill bit. I'm just going to force that, not force it, just place it down into position, and it's got to sit quite plumb. Now if it's not sitting plumb, then you have to take it back out, like I have to. Just raise the low side. Raise the low side up, and then just push it down evenly. I think that drill is a bit too big. Yeah, it is. Right, that's gone down. It just sits in there. So now, if I fill that back up with sauce, there it is there. So that's what would happen when the needle is open, okay? Normally, all that stuff on top of there won't allow that liquid to dissipate. Now, if I go underneath and push the needle open, we'll find it. You'll see that now starts to run out. There you go, done. Still a little bit of dirt in there, I can see it. That might be what I introduced when I put it back in. Clean that back out. Hi Pip, how you doing? Oh no worries. Yeah, she'll be fine. Hi Pippi, good girl. Right, so we're happy with that lot. The pump side, that looks to be okay. Oh, dog's just knocking my camera. Cheers, dog. There's a bit of dirt up in there, let's see. Right up in there. That needs to be cleaned out. That's the one that sits above that little screen. Another hole there somewhere. Right, happy with that. Right, let's go back onto there now. I'll get this right. Let's hope it goes that way. Like that. Happy with that now. Quick little clean off. Get rid of any debris. Tip up onto its side. Gently, gently. Right, we're happy. So we're happy there. Well, that's all good. So that can now go back in to where it lives, like that. Right, and the bigger screws are the ones that hold that down. Get your screwdriver and done. So, was I correct in saying that we shouldn't just be tuning and going? You can't just tune and go, guys, because it doesn't fix it. It just works around it. You just give them more fuel. But if that screen is blocked, that's the main reason. The gasket diaphragm probably would have been okay, but that too was a bit crispy. So now we can now put this pump metering diaphragm back on, which doesn't have two holes because that's just off like a stihl or something like that design. Well, we're saying that there was a hole on that one there. Where's that? So that's weird. So you got two holes on the original, one hole there. That's fine. Okay, so that goes onto there. That will allow the air to get sucked in to give the flex like that. And then you've got four little tiny baby screws to put in. Now don't force these down. Just put them in loose for now. and then slowly but surely just work them screws back in. Don't force them because you'll tear that gasket, diaphragm. So just loosely, get all 4 running is what I'm trying to say. Once all 4 are running, it's magnetic. My dog is right underneath my tripod. All right, Pip. She's not very happy today. Her mate Huxley, Ethan's dog, has gone back home. She's all on her Jack Jones now, so she wants to play with me. We'll go for a walk in a bit, shall we, Pip? All walkies. Yeah, you like a walk, don't you? It's a bit hot, Pip. Might have got the woods. Alright, so screw them down. Now, just for reference, your tuners are here. Now, they will say on there, high and low. There's a high one with an H, just we get a pointer. That says H just there for high and L for low. Generally, the high one's the one furthest away from the engine. So I'll do that. That's done. Right, so we can now go back up top and fit this carburetor back to the machine, and hopefully by cleaning the screen out and doing the diaphragm, we should be good to go. Right, carburetor now all clean and done. So it should be quite easy to put back on. So it's got to go. That I think goes like that, doesn't it? Yeah, tuners at the top, and fuel pipes at the bottom. So I'm putting my fuel pipes on first. Now, if you remember what I said to you, you have to have it. One of these is normally slightly wider. It is particularly on other carburetors. So we want to go with this one that goes from a tank, which would be your feed coming in. That's got to go onto there. And then if this one goes to the purge bulb, that's got to go onto there. So push that all the way on. Happy with that. Then you've got to hook up your linkage, your throttle linkage. So that'll only go on one way. There's a slight bevel bit on one side of this throttle linkage here. And that has to go on that way like that. So that just sits in there. Like that. Happy. That all goes down. That just popped out. Oh, it's not the best of designs. Let's put these big bolts in. Where's my big bolts gone? Let's just try and fit this all together first. I'm trying to show you guys, but that throttle cable keeps coming out. That goes in there. Second bolt. It goes in there. It's just that throttle cable I'm not happy with. It's just not a lot of room here. I might try and fit the carb first, just gently. What am I missing here, Mick? That was the right one, wasn't it? Sure it was, yeah. Just going to start that one off. And then this bottom one as well. And I'm going to come back and do that throttle in a minute. Big old bolts they are too. Right, that's got that one loosely done. Right, that's loose. Now I'm going to try and go over the top, push this throttle back. And you know, you might have to get a little tiny flat-headed screwdriver and just twist that throttle mechanism round so that we can actually then get that throttle in place. I know you can't see, guys. I can barely see myself. Right, there you go. That's in. So yeah, you have to sort of put that carb on first. Okay. So that's all in there. Do you want to see that quickly, guys? And I've got this new camera thing for my birthday, so it's not as quick release as it used to be. There you go. Right. So now you can see that's gone into there. There's a throttle being hooked up there. See. Okay. So that's all on. So we're happy with that. Let's put this camera mount back on. Right, okay, so happy with all of that so far. I can now nick that back up. Now this should prime a lot better now because we've got the screen is now done properly. That's all been cleaned out. And new diaphragm. So that's all good. So hopefully we'll be a bit better off. Let's see if that'll prime now. Let's do that cap up. or purge, sorry, it wasn't really filling up with a lot of fuel. Like now it is. Now that's got fuel in there. So before we go any further, what I want to do is just want to check the fuel line, okay? Just to make sure it's got a fuel filter on it. So I'm going to take the fuel cap off and out if I can get it out. There it goes. And there'll be one slightly longer fuel line than the other. One will be a return, which I can see, and then I've got the longer fuel line, which is here. I just want to grab hold of that. I just want to make sure there's a fuel filter on there, because if there's no fuel filter on there, then what happens is it'll just suck any crap up from the bottom of the tank. That's what it would do. Let me grab my hook out of my two-stroke box. I've got a little tiny metal hook in here somewhere. Just left it out on the bench the other day. Maybe I left it out. Just had a feeling I left that out the other day. I can get another one, but just a little bit of wire I use just for hooking two-stroke fuel pipes. Just use a bit of throttle wire, that's all I use. So I'll try and fish that out now. There it is. I need to get hold of it. Yeah, there it is. Oh, come on. Right, so it has got a fuel filter on there, I can see it. There it is there. Yeah, that's okay, that's good. Not happy with that. Fuel lines look to be okay. Push it back in, down the bottom. Right, so there, we're good. So we had the carburetor done. Fuel lines are okay. And we just put it all back together now. When we take it outside, I may have to tune it. So on these are going to be the Pac-Man ones. So if you haven't got any of these, you need to get some of these. These are brilliant. Carburetor tuning tools. Try and pick some up. They're about 12 quid for a pack, okay? And just be mindful what ones you get in your pack. I've got about, I think mine are now a pack of 15 now, because they do change them and add them now and again. Air filter back on. That's got to go on there. That's the choke side. That's got to go on like that, I think. That's got to sit in there somewhere. Can't even see that. Got to be there somewhere, I'll say. I'm going to spend half an hour trying to find the connection for that. God, can't even see. That there is. Right, screw that down. That's in, done. Right, we're done. So I'm going to get my Pac-Man tuner. That's hex. Let me find a Pac-Man one. If you're not sure, it will say so on the handle too here, okay, which one's which. There's a Pac-Man. And just double check that actually fits in there. Oh no, it's not Pac-Man. That says Pac-Man, that's small. I want Pac-Man big, baby. That's just not the one. Pac-Man big, here it is. Just try and fit that in there loosely. There it is, yeah, that's gone in, that's one. So that's one I'm taking with me. That'll be in my pocket, and we need to tune it if need be. So let's get it out on the garden, and we'll go from there. Right, so Parkside should now be done, hopefully. Now beforehand it was mucking about after 2 or 3 minutes, wasn't it? So let's choke it, full choke. Plenty of juice going in there now. Loads of juice. Turn it on, give that a pull. I fired first pull. That's on a half choke. The last time it was mucking about after 2 or 3 minutes. Let me just give it a quick run. happy with that. Not my cup of tea, but that'll do. Right, so that's a Parkside Hedge trimmer now all up and running and doing exactly what it should do. A new diaphragm change and the cleaning out of the metal galls is really, really important. Don't just do the diaphragm. Check that screen every single time, because the smallest amount of debris inside that screen will restrict the flow into the carburetor, and if you restrict the flow, it's never going to run right by changing the diaphragm. So make sure you clean that screen out, take the screen out if need be with a little tiny pick, clean it right out and then put it back in. Just don't lose it. I have seen some people not put that back in, but you're going to run the risk that screen is so fine and catches the smallest amounts of debris because it needs to, that's its job. So make sure the screen does go back in. But now it runs, does exactly what it should do for what it is. I have no idea how much that was, so if you know how much those sort of things are, put them in the comment section down below and go from there. If you like this sort of video, Micks Mowers and Mower Man, on how to repair your Parkside hedge trimmer or any sort of hedge trimmer that's got a carburetor issue, then that video should help you. Then hit the subscribe button and whack the old bell, set notifications to all, that way you'll be told next time when I upload another video. So I look forward to this episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, guys and girls, much more importantly, take it easy.